Oh, wait.
Oh,
Am I blowing my
it could
load?
be live. It could
There
not
you go,
be
now we're
live.
good.
We may be live.
There we are, yeah.
Are we live? We are live.
Yes.
Good evening, good evening. Hello, hello, hello.
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 Yeah. Here we go. I see the video now.
Yeah.
Just let people trickle in for a minute.
It definitely started with me saying blowing my load.
Perfect. It wouldn't be right if if we didn't have something like that, would it? It just wouldn't be right.
It's like every video starts with us saying something stupid.
Oh no, and it's not intentional, but I mean,
It's because it
it's
goes
not like
back
we're
like
gonna stop it now, is
3
it?
seconds more than I think it will.
Yeah, that jumps the gun. Good evening. How are we all doing? Hope everyone's okay. Good. I see we've got Marie in the chat saying evening. Good evening, Marie. Hope you're going well. Hope everything's good. I can't seem to click on things, so let me just refresh this. Oh. Hey, there we go. We're back in there. Sup, Lewis George? How's it going? Cool.
Cool.
Right. Can we all hear everything clearly? Are we all good?
Hopefully.
All right. I think let's get cracking. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having a lovely day. We've got some very special guests this evening. I'll introduce in just a moment. But before that, as usual, we've got our news. So this weekend, the big focus, we've got Rock Against Cancer up in Street. So if you're in the area, please do head along. If you're out of the area, feel free to still head along if you can. It's all for a good cause, and there's a bunch of absolutely incredible bands playing tonight, one of which we'll be speaking to this evening. Another announcement to make, actually. This Friday, we'll be playing at the Cobblestones in Bridgewater on a very last-minute show. Thank you so much to Drallian for getting us in touch there on that one. We should be playing alongside Black Tree Vultures. And let me just see who the other band is.
Forgotten already.
I have forgotten already. It's been a very long day. We will be playing alongside Riders Creed and Black Tree Vultures, I believe. So apologies if I've got any confusion on that one, but if not, really excited for that, and we'll see you there. Rock Against Cancer, so AKA one of the best shows going, says Thomas Peppard. Good evening, Tom. Hope you're well. He's
Here's Tom.
good lad. We went and saw Tom the other day, not playing, unfortunately. We were hoping he was, but we were up in Yeovil, and Tom was there, and I didn't realize how much of a laugh he is off stage as well. So
Lovely bloke. He played last year.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, he's such a good fun guy to hang out with. Yeah, hopefully we'll see him play soon because we actually haven't managed to do so just yet. But I think I should probably introduce you guys. So this evening we've got joining us. We've got Sam from the band Sunfall, if that's correct.
The
Yeah,
chart
that's correct.
is
There
it?
you go.
That way.
No, I got it right.
You
got
got.
it right.
I'm doing it all wrong.
Testing you, brother. And
I'm screwing up.
what's that?
Don't worry. Didn't go on.
So how are you doing this evening, Sam? How's it going?
Yeah, very well, thank you. How are you guys
Good.
doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And we've also got this evening Max, who is one of the founders and co-creators of Rock Against Cancer, which is a charitable organization set up making music, live music, all in aid of cancer research. So, hello, how are you doing this evening?
Hi, yeah, thanks for inviting us down for your live stream. Yeah, we're good. Just smashed some pizza, so
Yeah, we're
Great.
all up.
yeah.
Can't go wrong there.
As you can see, Charlie isn't with us at the moment, but he will be joining later with a story of why he's late. I'll let him reveal that, but yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Which is, of course, going to be good fun, I think. We'll say nothing yet. We've had a few comments come in just in the last few minutes. We've had Lewis George saying, "I'm good. How are you, lads?" So I think we've answered that one, but we're all doing very well. Thank you very much. We've had Zachary Locke come in saying, "Hey, good to see you all. Cheers for tuning in, Zach. Really appreciate it." Alex Scarbeck, hello again, sir. He's saying, "Tom Peppard last minute addition for Saturday. Make it happen."
Depends if he's already bought tickets or not, though.
Ooh. Well, get
Best is
messaging.
Tom.
And Lewis Paul has asked, what flavour pizza?
It was pretty basic. I just went for a pepperoni myself.
Yes, mine was exactly the same, but it wasn't planned. So
Yeah, it was a last minute thing.
Yeah.
Normally I'd go for something like really spicy, something to blow my head off. But yeah, just basic pepperoni. I'm afraid.
Well, it does the job. It certainly does the job.
Really
Tell
does.
me, pineapple or not?
Oh hell no, no.
Ah.
I can't trust anyone that has pineapple on their pizza.
I'm not that against it. I'll still be your
That's the
friend.
end of that. Anyway, we'll see you all next week now.
All the people are going to log off now after I said that. All the defending pineapple lovers.
All two of them that will be in the chat, unfortunately. I am one. I can do pineapple on pizza.
Okay.
But it does have to be a mood thing. I understand. I understand why you wouldn't trust that. James Wilson says pineapple can go in the bin. No. No. Lewis Paul says can't go wrong with pepperoni, to be fair. And James Wilson has said hello, Max.
Hello, James.
Ben Champion's rocked in with the horns. Good evening, Ben Champion. So I think we should probably get on with it. So Sam, how about would you mind giving us a full introduction to what you do?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to start or shall I start? Shall I go first?
I can chat about and stuff.
Yeah, you
know
go.
about
Yeah,
Charlie,
you should.
Go for it, Sam, if that's cool.
Yeah, sweet. So I'm vocalist of Sunfall. We're a new core band from Guildford. It's kind of like a new term that's being thrown around at the moment. There's a band, first band I saw use it called Left to Suffer, and it's kind of like an amalgamation of just like new metal, metalcore, deathcore. It has a bit of everything in there. So you got your melodic stuff, you got your super heavy bits, but you've also got like a big hip hop influence and whatnot. So we've kind of decided we've been tagged as that kind of genre, so we're like, cool, like works with us. But yeah, we're a Surrey-based band. We'll be playing Rock Against Cancer this Sunday. Can't wait. We played Rock Against Cancer 4 years ago for 2018. That was a great time, so it's going to be awesome to come back again. We've just signed to Out of Line Music, a German record label. We just released our debut single, Return to Sender. It's already about a month ago now, so time's already flown by.
Oh, well,
So
massive congratulations on that. Really well
thank you
done.
very much. Yeah, we're all really stoked about that. We knew about it for a long time, so for it to finally be announced and that was just like huge. So we're like really, really stoked on that. But yeah, we've got this show coming up on Sunday. We've got some other stuff happening soon, but that hasn't been quite announced yet. We are doing a little 5-day run with Monasteries in December. They're like a super crazy like tech deathcore band, and I love those guys, so I'm really keen to play some shows with them. But yeah, we're just going through it at the moment. Got a little plan for the rest of the year and stuff for music and that, so we're just chipping away until we can start announcing stuff properly. So yeah, we're all super stoked.
That's absolutely awesome. So anyone who's watching, there's a link in the description. You can check out the debut single there, and obviously keep an eye on the page. Hopefully you'll get some news soon then. Max, are you happy to give yourself an introduction?
Yeah, sure. Before I start though, I'm just looking at these comments. I think I've started like an internet war on pineapple on pizza. Yeah, so Rock Against Cancer started in 2015. Before that, I used to promote in Taunton. So I had some experience of putting on shows. Rock Against Cancer was originally a one-off show, an all-dayer that was put together by myself, a previous promoter that I worked with, and also a local guitar shop in Street, which is no longer around. And the idea came to me because we lost someone close to us through cancer, and we just wanted to raise some money for the cause that the person we lost went through, like with the treatment and everything. So Rock Against Cancer was born 2015. We had our first all-dayer. It was really successful. We raised a few £100 on the day, and it was brilliant. And the year after, I went at it alone and just recruited a couple friends just to help with like the poster and helping with the bands and things. And yeah, ever since we've just grown as a team, and like the bands we book, the lineups are just getting stronger. This will be our 7th year now, yeah, because we missed one with COVID and everything.
Oh, that's amazing. Absolutely brilliant. And well done for keeping it going as well, especially sort of through that COVID period. I think a lot of people have felt quite dismayed coming back to it. So absolutely awesome you've got it back.
Yeah, it has been really tricky, especially like with COVID and everything. Yeah, I also do like one-off shows at the King Arthur in Glastonbury, which is a great little venue. I don't know if you guys have ever been down there or.
That's awesome. No, we've actually been looking at that one, so we'll get in touch with you on that, I think.
Oh, honestly, it's great. Yeah, we'll chat more about that then. And yeah, they love us down there, and also Graham at the Cobblestones. We do like a heavier version of Rock Against Cancer, which is called Southwest Heavy Fest. So it's like Rock Against Cancer is like the rock and the heavy metal, but Southwest Heavy Fest is like if you want something a bit more extreme and different, then that also raises money for charity, and that's just grown big as well, like in our little scene. But yeah, it's just been every year gets better and better, to be honest.
Absolutely. And you mentioned there, obviously, you've got quite a personal tie to the charity. Was it specifically Macmillan that were sort of on the care side of things?
Yes, it was. Yeah, so that was my partner's uncle who sadly passed away, and then since then I've lost two grandparents to cancer. So with Southwest Heavy Fest, we choose to donate to the Beacon Centre, which is a cancer ward at Musgrove Hospital, and that's like where my grandparents were when they were in their last, when they were in care and everything. So yeah, I try and like Macmillan is great for Rock Against Cancer, and the Beacon Centre in Taunton is great for Southwest Heavy Fest. But we have worked with a couple other local charities as well. But I try and stick them to like cancer-related charities for now.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fantastic. I lost a grandparent to cancer quite a long time ago now, but so I can absolutely understand that. And myself and my dad, we did the Macmillan Cancer Cycle Ride a few times, a few years running actually, and that's yeah, it felt like they've got quite a good team together. They're all quite positive and really, I think they're quite accommodating. So it's really awesome you've chosen these particular charities. It's nice to hear there's a personal touch to it as well. As awful as that might have sounded, but yeah, it sounds great. So massive respect for that. Absolutely massive. So before we continue on the Rock Against Cancer topic, I just want to go into Sunpath a bit more, if that's all right with you, Sam.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So we've got a few icebreaker questions we tend to ask the artists we get on the show. So I'll start with just the easy ones. And actually, both of you guys, if you're happy to, can answer this one. So let's start with 3 artists that have inspired you.
Oh, sweet. I think I can name a few already. Do you need some time?
Inspired me. What, to be a promoter? Just
in general?
Yeah, you go with yours and I'll think.
So like I always put my band that got me into heavy music was Slayer. So I heard Raining Blood for the first time on Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock, and that just like blew me away. I was like, this is absolutely insane music. I was about 10 years old and I was like, that's nuts. So say Slayer, Chimera, who are like a groove metal band from
Chimera well.
Yeah, they're just like one of my favorite bands of all time, and like the OG lineup is like my favorite, and like they disbanded like nearly a decade ago now, but I know they're slowly kind of like in talks about doing stuff again, and it's just like I don't know, just I love them. And third one might be a bit of a curveball, but Eminem, like
Nice.
he got me into like before Eminem I was literally just like metal only, and then I heard like the Marshall Mathers LP. I'm like, oh, you can still be aggressive and angry without it being screaming and distorted guitars and whatnot. So I really opened up like my musical taste, like, oh, I really like rap music now and stuff as a result of that. So those 3 for sure. Big up
That's
there
awesome.
and stuff.
My mind has gone completely blank with this question. So I'm not really sure. I like everything. Like growing up, going to gigs and stuff, I was just fascinated by the way they worked and things. And when I was about 22 was when I started getting into promoting. So that was like 9 years ago now. And it was just, I think what influenced me to be a promoter is just going out to so many little shows and just loving the atmosphere of them and just checking out new music as well. So I grew up in Taunton, and we had a couple little venues and I just had the best times at these shows, you know. And also like Yeovil shows back in the day were amazing. And I was just a kid back then, and I had no idea how it worked, and was just fascinated with it. So that's probably what influenced me more than a band.
Absolutely. Do you know what? I think I mentioned just before the call, we head up and saw Grove Warden and a bunch of other incredible bands, and Tyrants, I believe, were headlining in Yeovil, and it was a weird one because it was just in Yeovil Conservative Club, but the vibe was absolutely incredible, and you kind of had you had the sort of I guess the old members of the club would stop having a game of Skittles, and I don't imagine they're quite used to that style of music, you know. But they were.
Sorry, we have a similar thing at Rock Against Cancer. We have like, it's a sports venue, so they have like cricket going on or something in the playing field, and then they're like, what's all that noise in the other room? But a lot of people, they come in and they're just like, oh, this is cool, and they get involved, you know.
I think they're certainly not averse to it, and it kind of speaks for, I'd say, this kind of scene, especially, I mean, biased maybe, but in the rock and metal scene, it seems to be very welcoming. And I think that certainly showed this week at the Yeovil show, or last week rather.
I was gutted to miss that show, but I was away up north visiting some family. But otherwise, I would have been there. And
it sounds like there might be more, so keep your ear to the ground on that one.
That would be cool, and it's cool that you guys went to it as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, they were right on stream. We couldn't have them on and not go see them at some point. So unfortunately, I'm not able to stay for the Sunday for Rock Against Cancer. So I wanted to go up and see what they were made of, and they did not disappoint. So anyone watching, if you haven't, last week's guests, Grove Warden, go check them out. They got their debut single out on Friday, so keep an eye out for that. They were fantastic. So I'm going to go to our next question. Callum, actually, before I do, have you got any icebreakers?
Yeah, I'm going to steal one of your ones you always ask.
Go for it.
Have you guys got any hobbies outside of music at all? Like some big hobbies?
Big hobbies. I play badminton like 3 times a week. I'm pretty much like obsessed with it. I've played since I was about 12 years old, and my granddad got me into it, and now I'm hooked. And he still plays as well, and he's like in his 80s. So that's like the only thing I can really think of.
That's fair enough. I'd say for me, I used to play basketball heaps, like when I was a kid, growing up, and I don't play as much anymore. But it's something like if the opportunity's there, I'll definitely go for it. There's like nothing more satisfying than like sinking hoops and stuff, you know, like. So I have to say basketball for me for sure.
Inside music though, we're like big collectors.
Oh yeah, me and Max love collecting like rare CDs. His collection is literally blows my mind. Some of the stuff that he has still sealed as well.
Oh, that's crazy.
That man.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for like physical media.
Yeah,
like, I love it when like, especially like smaller bands, if they still release a CD and they've gone through that trouble to print it on disc, then I'll pick it up and support. So.
Oh, what a legend! Well, you know what? We'll have one signed for you at the weekend. You can add that one in. Hey, give us a flex. What's some of your favourites that you found in your collection?
Oh man.
Mate, you've got some gems.
I'll tell you what, I've got Bring Me the Horizons, Count Your Blessings, signed by all the members, including like all the original members. So they did a signing in Taunton. Like this is like going back like 2006 maybe, just when the album dropped, and I managed to get it signed by them all. And it was like, you never knew this band were going to get so big or anything. And I've got that upstairs signed. That's probably like one of my.
That's pretty mental, to be honest. Yeah. Considering how big they are now.
I could check my Discogs if you want. See what's the most, but yeah, you'd be surprised. Some of them go for like
hundreds.
Like hundreds. Yeah. And you think, wow, like my girlfriend, she hates me. My fiance, sorry. She's like, no more room. Now I've moved on to vinyl as well. So.
Oh yeah, the vinyl craze popped off, didn't it?
When it made a comeback, I was like, I'm getting on this now. Yeah.
I need to know, do you actually listen to them or do you have them wrapped?
Oh man. Some of them are open, some of them aren't. Yeah, I'm not going to answer that question. I like to listen to stuff on like Spotify and things, and I know it doesn't really give the bands much money, but it's better than I'll buy the CD and buy the physical media and then listen to it online and give them the money, you know. Or like Bandcamp or something on that one.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think what a lot of people outside of the industry don't realize is those Spotify plays, they do help a lot, actually, as much as they don't pay much. they make a difference when it comes to labels and all the boring stat side of things that fans just don't want to know about, I hope, because it's not exciting. But it does help. So always check out your favorite bands on Spotify or on Bandcamp, because they can use that to help project their career forward in the music industry. So
yeah, and from a promoter aspect as well, like promoters used to look at Facebook likes and stuff when booking bands, but that's like out of the question now. It's like a lot of, especially bigger promoters, will look at how many listeners you have monthly on Spotify.
Yeah,
It's just
100%.
the thing,
It's completely changed.
Streaming is like the
The
thing
way
now.
forward,
Yeah.
mhm.
As much as I hate to admit it.
Yeah.
I'm with you there. I'm very much not so much a collector, but I always like to have a physical CD. I've still got, my car is just rammed full of CDs. I've still got the CD player in there. It gets a bit of a mess sometimes, especially if we have the whole band in the car. It gets like, choosing a CD can be a bit of a nightmare. But but you know, it limits your options and you hear it how the artist wanted it heard. So I do like that aspect of it.
Just to butt in, Charlie, I think, has just commented using our page. He wants to join in the chat, but he doesn't know how.
I did wonder if that was him. I sort of saw it. And by the way, chat, do keep it up. By the way, I'm trying to keep up with this, but we'll do a few highlights and I'll pin the comments. But you guys are going so fast, I can't keep up with all the comments. So I will pull out some highlights, and we'll be pinning a few comments up as well. That's my favorite one at the minute. Thomas Peppard, that is not true, and you know it's true. Or something.
Or something.
Absolutely not. This guy plays himself down, but he's fantastic. So is somebody able to, that link I sent you earlier, are you able to forward that over to Charlie?
Yeah, he should already have it, actually. Just check.
Yeah.
You might be
Great,
in the
thanks so
server.
much. I'll catch up on some comments in the meantime then. So
Yeah, comment
let's go
time.
back a few miles. Right, so I think we're all aware there was a massive pineapple war.
Yeah,
That's
we're over that now.
yeah. Anyone who said hello, by the way, we haven't missed it. I've been keeping an eye on the chat. Good evening. Hope you're well. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. So thanks for checking it out. We had the Peppard asking who is headlining Southwest Heavy Fest 2023.
I think he's in the server.
I did see that comment. I can't answer that. But if you can wait till October, then we'll reveal all. And we're doing the winter warm-up as well, so we're going to announce that one first. But it won't disappoint.
Do you have a separate page for the Southwest Heavy Fest?
Yes. Yeah, there's a
Fantastic.
separate Facebook page for that one.
Okay, well, anyone watching, go check that out, obviously, and keep an eye out for announcements there. So we've got Michael Welsh coming and said, going to be an awesome weekend. Looking forward to it, playing and watching. Do you guys know which band Michael might be in?
He's in I nearly said Grove Warden. That's Brave Ones. The drummer.
Awesome. Oh, I think I've seen some memes going through the chat on this one. Is he Ginger?
No, that's Charlie.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
Just help, because the guy who joined the server is... It's called... Hang on.
You got him?
Yeah, but I don't think I can do it on my phone.
We're incredibly professional here, as you can tell.
I can't do it on...
I'm praying for you, Charlie, so you don't miss out. And
We'll get you, Charlie. We'll get you in.
Oh, wait, no, maybe I can. Oh, I can.
Oh. So Alex chimed in. He said King Arthur is an incredible venue. Look forward to seeing it. What's the vibe there then? Is it a pub converted, or is it a venue dedicated? What?
I'm not sure on like the history or anything, but yeah. So it's a pub, and then you keep following it through a little bit like the Cobblestones, where you've got like a back garden bit, and then you've got like a function room, and they've just extended the function room they've extended the function room a little bit now as well. So I think it's only a little venue, like 120 to 50 people, I think, capacity. But it's perfect for like
Great, yeah.
we're booking and the bands we're bringing.
And that's also, I think some of the intimate shows tend to be more fun. Anyway, I don't know if you guys find this in terms of playing, but sometimes the smaller shows you get a lot more out of a crowd.
Yeah, I mean, you've played.
Yeah,
like,
definitely. Some of the smaller shows that you get like, it's more of a buzz than the bigger ones because there's so many people packed in this, the tiny room or something. I actually do prefer doing those ones. It's so much more intimate, and also attending gigs that are like that as well. I love seeing like a big band play a tiny venue. It's just like it's unreal.
Absolutely. The hot, sweaty ones are the best ones, I think.
Yeah,
Ironically.
exactly.
I prefer attending like smaller shows anyway.
Yeah.
Like when you go to an arena and it's just you queuing for like 20 minutes for a pint or the toilet or whatever, and you just
Absolutely. And there's a whole other element to it as well with the bands that are playing. They tend to still be kind of proving themselves. I think we've mentioned it on a stream previously, but a lot of the bands that are out there in these smaller venues are the ones out there really trying to show what they're made of. So you tend to get a lot more effort put into their show, I'd say. Obviously not the same budget, but definitely a lot more effort.
I think he's here.
Good evening.
We've done it.
Hello. Sorry.
How's it going? Welcome.
I was having major problems doing that through my phone, but I'm here.
No worries at all. So we've been promised that we're getting the full story. Is that true?
Yeah, I literally pulled up at Max's house, and I reckon about 10 minutes after I was there, some idiot didn't pull his handbrake up on his van, and it smashed into the front of my car. So literally, I had to eat a pizza as fast as I could and drive back here before it got dark. But we're here, and I have a very strong whiskey and coke because I'm very stressed. So we're here.
F's in the chat for your car. Is it
literally just what happens to me? It's only just recently happened, and I've got a new car because somebody wasn't paying attention, and a motorcyclist went through my rear screen and wrote my car off. So it's just me. It's just what happens to me, unfortunately.
Magnet.
Literally.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. You've got a few F's in chat, to be fair. So thank you very much. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Anyway, how are you? Other than that, I hope okay.
Yeah. Do you know what? Just take the L on it. This just is what it is. It could have been worse. I could have been behind the car and got injured, but I'm not. So I'm just going to try and be positive about it and bring this as fast as I can.
Well, fair enough. Well, do you know what? We've had a question come in straight away from the Peppard. He has said, right, first question, who is the cat?
Oh, this is Nyla. No? Hello? Hello?
Is that a prop?
Definitely not a prop. Normally, wherever I am, she is. So she'll probably be here the whole time until she gets a little bit bored.
I thought it was from Sabrina.
No, she's not. I don't know. I say she isn't a witch's cat, but she's quite temperamental with other people. So yeah. So Tom Peppard, this is Nyla. Nyla, that's Tom Peppard. You should come to one of his shows one day. He sings about how Jesus is a vampire slayer, which is, by the way, Tom, a cracking song that you just brought out.
Yes.
Just like to put that out there. I'm loving the new version.
Oh, haven't seen it yet. We'll have to have a watch. Have to have a listen later this evening.
That's good.
We've had a lot of comments come in, so I don't think I'm going to be able to keep up fully. But the general trend is hello and welcome. Sorry about your car, and you have a nice cat.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
And
Nice Charlie.
Lovely.
in response to, I think your car getting bashed, not to rub it in too much, but the Peppard has said, man, Charlie, you must have been a real brave one.
Wow.
That's a little,
Wow.
but I think you should take that one. That's not a bad one. So I will actually ask you just quickly a few of the questions we've gone through with the guys so far. So can you give us 3 artists that have inspired you?
Oh, so probably the main one is Bring Me the Horizon. I've been a fan of Bring Me since probably Count Your Blessings. Massive inspiration for me. I've always, I don't know why people hate them as much as they do, but I think they're one of the most influential UK bands there is. And I'll always follow them. I think going back in the day, what actually got me into, I suppose, heavier music was Blink-182. I think they were sort of like the first band I listened to that was like more punk and thought I really, really like this. I think, I remember Blink-182 and All American Rejects I was introduced to. That was sort of like the start of my journey into, I suppose, music, because before then, I'm not going to lie, I was a massive Blue fan. So thank God somebody showed me Blink-182 and was like, here's some decent music. And I think, Bring Me the Horizon, Blink-182, and probably a big one for a lot of people, but was Slipknot. I loved Slipknot like as a teenager, and I remember just listening to them non-stop. So I think probably those are the big 3 for me, sort of. I am sort of the person I am now, I suppose, because of all those bands and all those influences, and sort of write the music and go to the shows that I do because of them. So, yeah, I suppose those are my big inspirations.
Absolutely awesome. We've had a few comments off the end of that. So Lewis Paul saying Blink 182 was one of his first influences too, and Jade Elliott putting was a Blue fan. So do you ever still listen to Blink?
I mean,
Shout out to Lewis.
I
We're all
still-
fans here.
Lewis
I still know all the
played,
lyrics.
Lewis played Rock Against Cancer in the past, and he's brilliant. And he attends pretty much every year, so big shout to him.
Oh,
Big shout out to
fantastic.
Paul.
Brilliant stuff. So we've got one other question we have asked the guys. We'll give you that one as well, just because sometimes we get some cool answers out of this. So any hobbies that you have outside of music, sort of like quite big hobbies that you're well into?
This one's for you, Charlie.
Me?
We've already answered this.
Yeah.
I think just being Max's friend is my biggest hobby. No, it's not. No, probably football and fitness really are my main things I do outside of music. That's literally probably about it. I did take my hand up at paddleboarding this weekend, so I'm going to try and do a bit more of that. That was fun.
Nice.
But yeah, it's mainly football. Love playing football.
I think you're underselling it a little bit, Charlie. So Charlie's lost a lot of weight, and he's done such a great job on his like health and fitness and everything. Yeah, you look amazing now, Charlie, as well.
Oh, cheers. I was lockdown wasn't kind to me. I was a very, very big boy, but I lost it all, so it's all good.
Oh, well done, man. Yeah. And, well, you sort of gymming quite hard. Is it mainly cardio, weightlifting? What do you go for?
Mainly weights now. So I started off. I joined this. I know a lot of people know about it, but joined a thing called man versus fat football, which is sort of like imagine your slimming world, but with a football league. So you can score goals on losing weight each week, and there's like meal plans and really good guys. And I lost 7 stone doing it. I managed to play up in Northampton Stadium not that long ago for the Biggest Losers match, and now I just do a lot of weightlifting at the gym and just tries. I found it was very good for my mental health more than anything really. Just gives me something to focus on, especially when the band was really quiet, couldn't promote because of obviously COVID and stuff. So I always need something to focus on. So yeah, that was sort of like my focus for that time.
That's absolutely fantastic. And then there's a lot to be said for sort of the amount of endorphins that you get from just lifting weights as well, like giving yourself a physical challenge and making yourself uncomfortable physically. I think is there's respect for that. That's really, really good going. So congratulations on that, man. Really well done.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm
sure we can nerd out a bit on that one at the weekend. I'll happy to have a chat and see what your split is. Yeah. Awesome. So I think we're all caught up. We've had lots of support in the chat actually for you there. So thank you very much for all your comments there. That's very kind. So I think one more icebreaker question, but isn't that icebreakery? So highlight from going to a show. So any bands that you found just did something special when you went to see them live. Let's start with Max.
Oh God. You put me on the spot.
Try and do that.
Yeah, I might need a little bit more time for this, So I remember one really good show at the Fleece a few years ago. I went to see Let Live, and I don't know if you've ever seen Let Live before. It's Jason Allen Butler, who's now in Fever 333, and I've seen Let Live a few times at this point. But this show specifically, he was climbing up the Fleece poles, doing backflips. It was like one of the best shows I've ever been to, and it's just one of those ones that'll always stick with me. So yeah, that's probably my number one. Can you think of
awesome.
I think for me it was actually quite recent. So I have a friend called Noah who's just recently joined a band called Conjurer, and they played a Guildford festival called Radar Festival. I think it was like a month ago. And I've known about Conjurer for ages, but I've never fully delved into their music or anything. But since he joined the band and stuff, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I'm gonna see him playing that. And it absolutely blew me away. It was just insane. I felt like I was in a Lord of the Rings film in the battle scene or something. It was constant dread. It felt It was so tight, so heavy, and the set was like long. It was like 50 minutes or something, but I felt like I looked at my time. I was like, it's over. Like it went so fast because I was just so like in a trance, just watching this go before my eyes. Yeah, Conjurer, like probably one of the best bands in the UK at the moment, doing that like death metal, like sludge, doom kind of sound. Like, yeah, blew me away, honestly.
Also, like, you know when you go to a festival and you get the bands that decide to like climb really high up on the stage.
Yeah.
So I've seen a few bands do that in the past. Download Festival, second stage, Bring Me the Horizon did it. I think it was Jono and he was in the band, and that was probably the first time I'd seen anything like that, and that was crazy. And again, I went to Arctangent Festival a couple weeks ago, and there was a band playing called Traps, and the vocalist of this band just decided to show up during other sets across the festival, and he just climbed the massive poles in the middle, and like you could tell he was incredibly fit, and he was just like throwing his band CDs out to the crowd, and everyone was like watching him, and he wasn't even in the band. Like, it's so random, but things like that you just remember during a set.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I have a vague memory of, I think it was Jared Leto from 30 Seconds to Mars used to do that quite a bit. So yeah, a bit of a different style of music, but I always thought that was quite a cool thing to be able to do. I always assumed by now health and safety would have got us on that one, but if it's still available to be done, I think it should be.
And you can't beat those first 30 Seconds to Mars albums, they're great.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they might have fallen off a bit following those, but definitely those first two. And of course, we're not forgetting Charlie.
Oh, so I got two that stick in my mind. I remember watching While She Sleeps at the Fleece. I think it was on their You Are We album release tour. And I remember the night they played at the Fleece was the night they found out that they got a top 10 album. And I remember it was their first self-released albums with no label. And I just remember it was one of the most craziest shows. I mean, the Fleece for me has always been one of my favorite venues, no matter how dangerous those wooden poles are in the middle of the crowd, which I have bumped into many times in circle pits. But I just remember, I think it's Matt, the guitarist. Apologies if I've got his name wrong. But I remember him just coming into the middle of the crowd and everyone circle pitting around him during You Are We. And I think just the excitement for them getting that top 10 UK album was really, really good. That was a wicked night. And one that another band that sort of sticks out for me is, and a band I don't really follow that much, but my friend James took me to go watch Evil Scarecrow at Bournemouth. And again, it's not really my cup of tea. So I didn't really know what to expect. I just thought, it'll be a bit of fun. We'll go down. But I've never known a band have such crowd participation during shows. So I mean, like I just remember having so much fun. So they did a song where we did moon moshing. So everyone was moshing in slow motion because they had an anti-gravity time machine. And then we also did the Crabulon. So during the breakdown, everyone was shuffling from side to side. And then they had Robototron, which there were two guys that turned up in full-on cardboard robot outfits. Oh, wow. And I just remember doing that, I am Robototron. So much respect. I remember seeing them at Download, and they were going on about all these bands that have, like, loads of pyrotechnic. And they were literally like, if everyone could just pick a bit of shit up off the floor, and, like, during this part of the song, everyone just throws it up. And I remember this horrible but magical moment of just all this crap flying in the air during their Download stuff. But I've always had such respect for that band. It's just so fun.
I'm
glad
you brought them up. I'm so glad you brought them up.
Yeah.
Like, they've been a standout act for quite a while, I think. And was it they called themselves the Blue Peter of heavy metal?
I remember they played Bloodstock open air. I think that's the first time I saw a video of them. Like, I know they played it recently, but years and years ago on main stage. And I just remember seeing the crowd do Crabulon. And it was just like utterly ridiculous. This whole crowd just doing this and shuffling from side to side.
It's wild.
Pretty sure they're like the house band for Bloodstock, but they didn't play it this year.
Yeah, we didn't go this year.
They
were there.
Next year.
They were there. They just didn't play. Well, I saw a few of them milling about. But...
Legends.
Callum, I haven't actually forwarded you this question in a while. So, any highlights? I suggest maybe because a few of the people watching have probably seen our sort of opinions on big live shows before. How about locally or recently? What bands have really stood out?
Why did you ask me that? I'm so bad with questions.
I know.
I think locally, definitely that Grove Warden and Tyrant show. Like, that was amazing. Especially
that whole show was
especially because it was like the last minute venue swap. You know, everyone there brought their all, like the band and the crowd and everything. You know, it was all proper good there.
Really, 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 really proud of Alex and Josh and whoever else was involved in that show, because I remember speaking to Alex because I was promoting at the Railway for a few years, and it kind of worked because it was small and the shows were free. So it seemed to work with Yeovil. And then when they said they were doing this paid show, I was like, I'm just fingers crossed it goes really well. And seeing the footage and how well the show did is a massive thing. So like, well done to those two, because Yeovil's a really difficult place, and they absolutely smashed it. So props to them. Absolute props.
It never used to be a difficult place. That's the thing. It used to be on the map for like
and
everything. Like you've had like Parkway Drive, Bring the Horizon. God, there's so many bigger names that used to play in Yeovil back in the day, like when they had the ski lodge and stuff.
Yeah, I mean they had like Biffy Clyro played at the I want to say the Liberal Club opposite the bus station years and years and years ago. And I mean you had Bullet at the ski lodge, Bring Me the Horizon, Parkway Drive at the Westlands Leisure Complex. Even they had like U Meter 6 do a headline tour there, and Lower Than Atlantis, even though no one really turned up. Bless them. Cracking show. I just remember the lead singer from Lower Than Atlantis saying, "We've made it everywhere apart from Yeovil." Because Westlands, if you haven't been there, it's a big room, and yeah, they didn't fill it. They didn't fill it, which is a shame. It's a cracking band.
It's quite funny you said that, Charlie, because I saw Lower Than Atlantis in the Orange Box, and there was like 10 people there.
That's
so that was before they were big enough to play Westlands.
That's crazy.
They were still a hardcore band back then.
With the Yeovil scene, I think I kind of speak for all of us guys in Region 1, actually, because we didn't expect much out of Yeovil. But when we turned up, it was like, there's some real shit going on here. This is like pretty serious. And I think the consensus of that show the other night, a lot of the bands were saying, look, it's back, boys. You know, it's like they were saying to the room, the scene is back. So, I mean, fingers crossed that's the case, because honestly, I felt something quite magic at that show the other night. Not to sound too sad act or anything, but there was definitely like a real consensus going on that this is where the counterculture is right now. This is where like people are getting in a room and they're just having a crazy wild night, and it's like genuinely joyful, and no one dislikes each other. It was I think it was pretty special. So massive congratulations to everyone involved once again on that one, and hopefully we see more of that, because sadly, obviously, the railway's shutting down. I think I saw a post today that Saturday will be their last night. So if you're in the Yeovil area, go and absolutely drink that bar dry this weekend. Absolutely, because it's all got to be gone. So help them out. But hopefully there'll be some venues popping up there. And it sounds like, I don't know how solid this is, but it sounds like the Con Club might be rebranding with non-political affiliation and going for a venue. So
spot on.
Don't know how serious that is. Don't know if it was just the staff chat and shit, but if that does happen, that'll be really magical. I don't know whose sound system it was, but it was a really, really good sound in there.
Yeah, it was really good in there, actually.
Oh, that's really good.
Like, really good. Blew us away, certainly. Yeah, so hopefully we see something out of that. So I'm going to go into some more personal questions now. Just before I do, Max, we kind of touched on what inspired you to move into the charity work with Rock Against Cancer. But Charlie, we haven't really had the chance to ask yourself. So we've had a question from Martha Piggott, one of our friends out in Mexico. She says, what inspired you to Rock Against Cancer?
So we've my band Brave Ones have played RAC shows for, I can't remember. When was the first time, Max, you booked us? Was it 2017, 2018?
You know what?
Tested you, I know. Tested you.
Yeah, I think it was the third year. So yeah, 2017, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been playing like RAC shows for a bit. Max has booked us, so like the King Arthur, We played street, and then I think just a couple of years ago, I sort of became really close to Max and his group of friends, and I was promoting in Yeovil, and it was going really, really well. Like we were packing out the railway every time, and then COVID hit, and it just, there's a bit of a damper. I wasn't enjoying things. I was going through a lot at the time, and I just remember me having this conversation with Max over some drinks one night and some games that, I was saying I'm not really enjoying it as much as I was, and I think you wanted some fresh ideas in RAC and stuff, and then it sort of just bloomed. And I remember Max asking me, and I was like, absolutely, I'd love to get involved. It's on a bit of a bigger scale. All the money goes to charity, so it's I literally snatched it up, and it's amazing the money you can raise whilst having so much fun. And yeah, for such a good cause, it was a no-brainer. It still means that I get to promote, and my band still plays some of the shows, so that's good. But it's brilliant, and Max has been fantastic, and he's really got a name for himself. So bands want to play these events because they know they do well, and they're such, especially Southwest Heavy Fest. I mean that's a popular weekend, and people love it. So yeah, no, it was a no-brainer to join Max and his team, and I've loved it so far. It's been brilliant.
Absolutely. And you know what? We speak to obviously quite a few different bands, and before we even knew who you guys were, they were, we'd heard your name on the grapevine, and that only good things have been said about you. So I think that says a lot. So really, honestly, really excited to work with you at the weekend, and I can't wait to actually meet you guys in person. I think it's going to be real good fun. We've had a few comments come in. Actually, we've had a lot of comments come in, but yeah, I'm trying to keep up with it. It's pretty wild this evening. So keep it up, guys. Really enjoyed it. So we've got the Peppards chipped in. He says, all you guys at Rock Against Cancer are legends, booking some amazing bands for all the shows y'all put on. I think that's probably quite true. I think that's, definitely a testament to what you guys are doing. Alex has said, you two working together is such a smart move. So looking forward to seeing what you achieve together. Keep an eye out for that. Lewis Poole said, I'm so excited about the fact it's 2 days this time. So is this the first time it's more than a day fest, is it?
Yeah, so normally we just do the single day, but
oh, wow.
because of COVID and everything, I had like loads of bands email wanting to play, and I couldn't cram them into one day, so I just thought, fuck it, we'll do a weekender.
Absolutely, yeah, why not? It looks like it's doing well, so yeah, keep it up. We've got Marie saying, honestly gutted she can't make the Rock Against Cancer because it sounds amazing. Hope all goes well. Cancer sucks. Cancer survivor over here. So Marie's one of our close friends, and bless her, she's had a hard time. So good on you, Marie. You keep it up. She says, unfortunately, but this is going to make a huge difference. So obviously a great cause. Fantastic. Pepard's come back in and said, Max equals legend. A simple equation, but seems to be accurate.
Thank you, Tom.
Finally on this topic, Lewis has asked, is there a chance it'll be a weekender next year too, providing everything goes well this year?
Yeah, definitely. If this year goes well, then yeah, I don't see why not.
That's great news. Well, fingers crossed then. I think that'd be really awesome to see more of it, So I want to ask a few questions actually about Sunpath, because we haven't really touched on sorry, not Sunpath, Sunfall. Losing my mind.
Yeah, you're all right.
I literally just read Elkapath, so that's what happened there. Yeah, so Sunfall, obviously you're our sort of special guest this evening. We've not spoke to you too much yet, so I think it's about time we gave some questions your way. So there's a few kind of obvious questions for people who don't know what you do. You've kind of given a bit of a background. But when it comes to the actual songwriting process for you guys, have you got any particular acts or artists that inspire you in terms of songwriting?
So at the moment, like instrumentally, all the music's written by Ollie, our guitarist, and Ryan, our drummer. Ryan also mixes and masters all of our music too. So for them, they both have very different influences. So when the band first started, a lot of the music's very like Architects inspired. So like kind of early Architects, not like super early like the Hollow Crown stuff, but more like the Genty side with like All of Our Gods Have Abandoned Us and Lost Forever, Lost Together, that kind of sound. But then it was more of like a core edge, so like the Thy Art Is Murder influence and stuff like that. But since Ryan's joined, now there's a lot more influence as well on his side. So he's really into like bands like Sixth, like super technical like metal, and he also loves like the beat down and stuff like Knock Loose and all that. So that those bands have now like kind of meshed into the sound. So we try and have like we don't have any like super clean vocals or anything, but there are like choruses where it's like there's singing in the background that our drummer's done, and that melts together with some other super heavy bits. Like we have like proper like slam beat down parts in our songs. We also just have like metalcore breakdowns and stuff like that. So all of us really just like a lot of different music within the genre. So we try and put it all together and make it like super cohesive.
You guys
That's
are
absolutely awesome.
the heaviest on the lineup for sure.
Oh yeah, for this Rock Against Cancer, we're the heaviest.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I saw your video come out for Return to Sender, or at least the trailer. So you say obviously you released that recently. That came out by the looks back in July. This is your debut single. We sort of touched on a few things that you've kind of got coming up, but nothing too specific. Is there anything you can really tell us about what you've got coming up? Have you got plans for a single and another single, more music videos, an album, anything like that?
Yeah, so this Friday I'll be tracking final takes for the next song, and that should coming out in the early October, which is pretty exciting. And from then on we'll have so last year, for example, we had singles coming out very consistently, and it's that's going to be kind of happening again now. So expect a lot more just a lot more content coming out a bit more frequently, and so yeah, I'm really excited to get back on that again, because we've been a little bit quiet this year, sorting a few things out, but we're back on like a plan. So definitely expect regular music and some show announcements very soon. We've got a show announcement tomorrow at 12, which will be real cool. So yeah, definitely keep
fantastic.
That.
Well, guys watching, obviously check out Sunfall UK is the handle on Facebook, and I believe also on Instagram.
Yeah.
So check those guys out for an announcement tomorrow midday. So go and give that a look. What would you say? Have you got any sort of highlights or favourites from any performances you've had with the band so far?
Yeah, definitely. Well, our first ever show that we played was actually really incredible. That was about 4 years ago. We played a venue in Guildford called the Star Inn. We opened up for the bands Distant and Drifted, and Distant are doing really well now. They just signed to Century Media Records, and it was crazy to think that our first show was with them. But at the time, we hadn't released any music, and we had an amazing reception. We had so many different people come up to us, no way was this your first show and stuff. That was great, and it was very overwhelming, but in the best way possible. I'd say that show, and on the 1st of April we played our comeback show. The band went on hiatus for about a year and a half. I was living in Australia at the time, and all the guys were still in England, so we were literally communicating and doing music that way. And the 1st of April we managed to play our first live show with the lineup in a year and a half, nearly 2 years, and we got a good solid amount of people to come down to this casino, or not casino, sorry, the place is called Casino. It's a nightclub, but it had a metal night there, and we played a huge hour-long set, and it was really great just to see the local crowd show up and support and be yeah, we're back now, we're playing. It was a very surreal moment for all of us, to be honest.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, that sounds great fun, and I think it's quite a warming sensation when you. So I guess you don't expect it on your first show back as well. You expect a bit of support, but it's kind of hard to gauge how much people are sort of kept up with you, how much they've actually seen it online, and all that.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, fantastic! That sounds great. This one's for all of you guys, but we'll start with yourself still. So, musical inspirations. So, going back to that kind of topic, but more what actually got you into music? What made you play the instrument you play, or got you singing?
So, vocals was something that I started properly in about start of 2018. I started taking vocals seriously. Before then I played guitar. I still do now, but I don't play nearly as much. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier in the live stream, Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock is what got me into music.
Hell yeah.
My dad has always been huge into music. He's got vinyls and CDs everywhere. It's awesome. But like I was like, oh, this music's great and stuff. But it wasn't until that game where I heard like metal for the first time. I was like, okay, this is something I've never heard before, and I love it.
Yeah.
So from there, I learned guitar and stuff for ages. Kind of hit a roadblock with guitar, and I was just like, I remember literally, it was one of my really good friends in Australia, Jaden Gunning, a good shout out. We were on Omegle one day. You guys have been on that random chat website.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Out on that, and we were just putting all the interests like metal bands, Lamb of God, Metallica, whatnot, just trying to like 15-year-old kids just having a laugh. And I was just like in the moment, hell hyped. I just screamed Lamb of God, and it came out as just like a traditional like fry scream that would you hear like Matt Heafy from Trivium do.
Yeah.
And the dude, my mate was just like, what was that, mate? That actually sounded like legit. So I was like, oh yeah, I think it did a bit. So I worked on it, and over time I was like, okay, I can do this scream. And then from there I realized how much like empowered I felt and stuff doing it. And like I said, this is really cool, I want to work on it. And so in 2018, 2017, when I like joined Sunfall, I was a very basic vocalist, but it forced me to kind of just be like, I got to learn everything and stuff. So I got into it really quickly, and I was like, I really enjoy doing vocals over playing guitar. And just over the years, I've just tried to learn different techniques, and it's always a learning game. You've always got like something else to learn. And but yeah, it's just been like a slow build of just kind of doing it. I never saw myself as a singer ever. So I even look back on it, like, I'm like, that's crazy. But
you play guitar as well, don't you?
Yeah, I still play guitar and stuff, but the vocals has completely taken over. So yeah, it's just weird how it's turned out that way, to be honest.
That's awesome. Well, it sounds like you absolutely rose to the occasion. I'm quite sad I'm not going to be there on Sunday, but we're going to definitely try and catch you guys at a show soon.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Be really cool to see you play. Yeah. So let's send that question round actually. So Max, obviously musically minded, what was your sort of first memory of wanting to be involved with the music industry?
So getting into music, when I was a kid, nu metal was huge. I got quite bullied in school, so I felt like metal was comforting at the time, and it just helped like get through school and everything. So bands like Linkin Park and Slipknot, Korn, they were like my first three big bands into rock and metal. And just from there, it's just gone into so many different directions. Now I can appreciate anything from like even pop to like punk, death metal. I love it all really. So yeah, so also a big shout out to Deftones, because even when I was a kid, I wasn't like massively into them, but they are my favourite band now.
We've both got Deftones tattoos.
Yeah, Deftones tattoos.
Oh, nice.
Well, yeah.
Are they somewhere that can be shown?
Yeah, mine's up here. Where's yours?
Mine's on my ankle, yeah. So I don't know if you can see it, but
Black Pony.
Yeah.
I do like to remind Max that Deftones is the only band I've ever fallen asleep to live. So he hates that one.
They're quite a Marmite band, I think, for a lot of people. To be fair, I mean I quite like them personally, but I know a lot of people that just hate them with a bit of a passion, and I'm not really sure why. But I think they're really good. Like they're really good songwriters. I didn't think too much of them live, I will admit that, but their sound is fantastic.
Yeah, it wasn't until like 2010 they established as my favorite band. I saw them live for the first time, and I just loved it really. And that was when Diamond Eyes came out, which is probably like my top 3 favorite albums. So yeah, that's how I knew. Yeah, so they're now right up there.
Awesome. Well, big shout out to Deftones then. And what about yourself, Charlie? What got you into music in the first place?
So I think actually, like, when it came to actually being in a band and doing vocals, like I've come from quite a musical family, and it was always my mum and my brother. My brother played a lot of guitar when I was younger and did a lot of singer acoustic stuff, and I ended up entering a talent show at school and singing "Falling Leaves" by Billy Talent. And everyone was like, "Oh my God, you can sing!" I was like, "I don't think I can, but fair enough." And then fast forward like years and years later, just jamming with a few of my friends. I remember in my friend James's bedroom, we just started jamming, doing some covers. And I thought, well, I'm not complete shit, so maybe we could just keep this going. And then I'm just still doing it now. But I think pop punk for me was definitely what got me into music, and I still love pop punk now. I would book Rock Against Cancer up with loads of pop punk bands, and I mean, I'd love to do that. And there actually aren't. I don't know. There are quite a few around, but they're sometimes quite hard to come by. Some
Well,
like
I know
proper
the Teddy
pop
Rocks
punk bands,
Festival
right?
has a good lot of pop punk. So if you ever stuck
Yeah.
for artists in that area, we're good friends now with a band called Skinny Knowledge, and if you haven't checked them out,
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
do. If you like the pop punk side of things, these
Yeah.
guys are really on it. And they're really good,
I'll
really
definitely
good.
check them out.
It's like a Green Day sort of end of the pop punk with a
Mm.
Foo Fighters blend, so it's still got that rock
Mm.
in there. But definitely give that a look.
I'll definitely. Planning on moving quite soon, and hopefully moving near my guitarist. And we keep talking about doing a pop punk side project, which we're going to do, I'm sure.
Should be done.
Our mutual love of late 2000s pop punk, like Yumi 6, All Time Low, like Kids in Glass Houses. I found out that they're doing a reunion show at Slam Dunk next year, and I cannot wait.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've had a few questions coming actually in the chat. So Marie Kate Taylor's coming. She's asked, where would you say the best place you have played is? Now, I want to diversify that question into what's the best venue you think you've ever worked with? So whether that's booking or whether it's playing live. Take it around the circle, starting with Charlie, I guess.
I think actually the best venue we've played, I'm going to have to give props to the King Arthur in Glastonbury. I think it's a wicked venue. There's something about Glastonbury, like people will turn up just because there's music on. And it seems that every time we play there, it's busy, it's jam packed. Max booked us to support Mother Vulture. If anybody watching hasn't checked out Mother Vulture, do it because they're insane. And it was one of the most craziest shows we'd ever played. I mean, jam packed, like wall to wall with people. And yeah, I'd say the King Arthur for me is definitely my favourite venue to play, and we always love going back there.
That's awesome. Max?
So sorry, the question was favorite venues, like just to work with.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I've not worked with too many venues, but we've done the King Arthur, Cobblestones, Victoria Club. I have promoted in a couple venues in Taunton as well, but they've been and gone. And also we did a show many years ago in my old promotion team in the Cavern in Exeter. But yeah, my favourites pretty much the same what Charlie said, the King Arthur and the Cobblestones. The King Arthur, like what Charlie said, people just turn up. Sometimes they don't even know what's playing and they just come away a fan, or they're just like, you get some like hippie-ish looking people and they're just rocking up and they're just happy to be there and have a good time. And then same with the Cobblestones, which is got like this rock and metal fan base just everywhere around it. People just turn up and just enjoy it. So yeah, those are my two picks.
Awesome.
I'd say for me, I mentioned it earlier, the Star Inn in Guildford's my favourite. It's unfortunate with that venue because they decided to build a bunch of council flats and stuff like right next to it, and so they were like saying you have to take the noise down and like reduce, live music, because they was getting complaints. The venue nearly got shut down because of it, and it was such a shitty situation. So it's not really as popular as a venue now. Like all the bands used to come through would play that venue, but now it's because of that it's not used as much, which is really depressing.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it sucks. But I've played it. I think I played it about 4 times, and every time I just love the vibe. It was like a classic pub vibe. Go right out the back, and then you've got the band room, massive stage, like a small room, but like enough to set at least 100, 150 people in there. So when it was busy, it was just like such a vibe. I'll also give a quick shout out to the Holroyd Arms in Guildford. That's basically like the new Star Inn, and all the like loads of metal bands are playing there now. And that's like a super chill place. There's always like people in there that like, again, they were mentioning earlier, just playing like pool and stuff, and then it's just like when there's like metal bands playing, there's a bunch of like elderly people just kind of like looking in like what's all that noise coming and disturbing our Sunday tea. But yeah, it's those venues are great.
I've got to ask you actually. I studied in Guildford for a few years up at ACM, so I remember the Star. I met Adam Wakeman in there from Ozzy Osbourne's band.
Wow.
He's total legend. He was so friendly, really nice to chat to, but just to be hanging out in that kind of place, you know what I mean? So it's always worth going to these smaller venues. Sad to hear it's gone downhill a bit in terms of well, I guess that's what happens when they put flats right next to it. But they should always prioritize the venue over the housing. That
Yeah,
drives me nuts.
100%.
Heard of so many venues being shut down because some buggers moved in next door and decided that they don't want to be near that. Well, could always move not there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. And I think people kind of forget, like, if they want there to be a vibrant culture, then they need to actually support it, not tear it down all the time. It's
100%. Yeah.
disgusting to witness. But yeah, might get in touch with you about some venues in Surrey actually, because we've not got up there in Regional One yet, but Regional One was actually formed kind of around ACM time, so
Oh, brilliant.
that'd be really cool to get up there and yeah, kind of haunt the old venues, so to speak.
Yeah,
Is the
definitely.
boiler room still going up there?
Yeah, I was going to mention Boiler Room's still going. We've played Boiler Room once. That was a good
Nice.
time. Nice little venue, like very well. Yeah, you've been obviously been in there
I've
and
been up
stuff.
there,
It's
yeah.
quite small, but like it's a nice little vibe. Stage
Yeah.
is really close. Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, glad to hear that's still about. I did like it there.
yeah, it definitely is.
So we've got a few comments come in. I just want to hail back to Guitar Hero actually, because there was a lot of support shown for Guitar Hero 3. So big ups to Guitar
Yeah.
Hero. I don't know about you guys. I didn't really think about it at the time, but that must have influenced so many people towards music.
Hundreds,
So many.
millions.
You know what? Yeah, actually, weirdly thinking about it, it's something you don't never really consider. But I suppose that was massive, especially back. I don't know when the first Guitar Hero game came out, but even just playing Slow Ride, like fantastic, loved it.
Yeah.
And I remember, I don't know about anyone else, but getting all your friends together on like Rock Band, and then you got the drums and the bass, and I used to think
Guitar
back.
Hero World Tour was the one for me.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Thinking we must have looked so sad, but I'm proud of that. I'm proud of those times. Loved
Damn
it.
right. I think actually we brought it up on a stream a few weeks back, but there was a band that did like a live performance of Guitar Hero on tour with a bigger band, but I think they got booed off stage. I mean, come on, you know what I mean? Like, it's good in your bedroom. No, half my drum practice was on Guitar Hero when I was learning drums. So yeah, I thought it was really handy on the World Tour game. And we still do a cover of a song called Kryptonite by Three Doors Down.
Tune.
I love that
Absolute
song.
tune.
Yeah, initially learnt that one on Guitar Hero. So big ups to Guitar Hero, massively. I think they inspired a lot more people than they realise, and I'm really hoping it makes a comeback at some point, because there's not really anything like it.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Whereas on computer, there's like a Clone Hero. It's like a PC one, and people make their own. You make your own like maps for it, so you can use. There's all like custom made songs, but it's all like copyrighted songs. But you can play them as long as you've got a way to connect the guitar into the keyboard, into the computer, and you can play it.
Check out Clone Hero then.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I do think there needs to be a major franchise again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It needs to be like a big thing. Everyone's excited for the next one to come out. We need that.
There's something called Rocksmith, if anyone's heard of it.
Yeah.
Where you plug your guitar into the console and play along with the actual song. And my little brother is an absolute whiz. I mean, he was like jamming out Led Zeppelin solos, and he's like so young. So like props to games like that are getting kids into music, because
damn right.
I mean, he's insane, especially at that age where you can pick it up within like 5 minutes and just be amazing. So I'm hoping he's going to be rich and famous and carry me for the rest of my life. It'd be great.
Oh yeah. So I'll just catch up on a few comments then. So we've had, like I say, a lot of support for Guitar Hero. Alex says Guitar Hero alongside Burnout and Tony Hawk's so crucial to getting rock and metal out there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thomas Peppard has come in and said Rock Against Cancer to host a Guitar Hero game night. I mean, to be fair,
It could work. Maybe in the future.
you could have Peppard as your host. You could.
I tell you what, you could have it at the corner, Max. Set up like an Xbox and Guitar Hero in the corner of the venue.
Between sets, little
just
competition going. Ooh.
Maybe.
Yeah, you get loads of free ideas in here. I don't know. They're not bad. Lewis says, yeah, Guitar Hero World was cool. Even played that with the family. Yep. That's exactly what my experience was like with that game as well. It was nice to actually be able to play some music with my parents who have never picked up an instrument in their life. So that was good fun. And oh yes, Beat Saber. So Beat Saber is in existence. So that's kind of a VR version of it, but more pop-based. So if you haven't played that, that is good fun. Peppard says Rocksmith taught him guitar. I think Stevie used to practice. Our guitarist used to practice on Rocksmith before he got an amp.
I did too.
Yeah, look, there's use for these things. There's so much use for these things. Get your kids these games if you got them. Like,
that's what really got me into Queens of the Stone Age as well, because Go With The Flow was on it, and I was like, it's a fucking good song. And then I'd always heard No One Knows, obviously, because that was always on like Scuzz TV or whatever. They always bloody played that. And then when all I listened to was Songs for Death. I was like, Mum, please keep buying me this album. That's like all I listened to for ages.
That's a great album, to be fair.
It is.
We've had a few drives back, haven't we? I
love
think
that
we had a
album.
drive back from Yeovil when we were just slamming that out the whole way home, along with Ballroom Blitz.
Book of Heavy Metal.
It's a good drive home. Gets you there without you passing out of the wheel, you know. Michael Welsh says, started playing drums because of Rock Band. There you go. So much inspiration from these games. We need something to come through that's that strong again. And I'll bring us on to this question. I think we're coming up to nearly an hour and a half, guys. So let's have, it goes by quick, doesn't it? It's easy work. Peppard asked us earlier on. I didn't bring it up because I wanted to save it towards the end. He says, what bands are you most excited for at Rock Against Cancer? For him, it's Absolute Zero. He's heard tons of good things about them recently. So I think we brought up Absolute Zero just before we went live. And for what I understand, this is a bunch of kids, right?
Yes, so this is my friend's son's band, and
Nice.
he's the drummer, and he's either 9 or just turned 10, and there's 3 of them, and they started off playing covers, and now they're playing original as well, and they're 9 years old. I mean,
that's fantastic.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah, to see kids pick up instruments and even play shows at that age is amazing.
At 9,
that's incredible. Yeah, imagine getting up in front of a crowd and doing that when you're that age. That's absolutely fantastic. Anyone coming to the show, make sure you get down nice and early. From what I understand, they are actually opening the festival, so get down. Make sure that you're the audience that makes them want to do this for the rest of their lives. All right, make them inspired. These guys, they're so young, so inspire them because they've got a long journey ahead. It's not easy, and they're going to need the drive. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do. But yeah, so back to the question. So I'll say, are there any bands in particular? We'll start with you, Charlie. Any bands in particular on the lineup for this year that you're looking forward to seeing?
So I'm really gutted because I'm not actually going to be there on the Saturday. I know, massive boo from me, but I know. I'm at a wedding on the Saturday, so unfortunately I can't make it. So on the Sunday, I've seen them before, but Death Is a Girl. We played with them up in I can't remember now, somewhere. What's the old venue that Graham Hodgson used to own? Max, you know?
Own or
in Gloucester?
Run.
Was it in Gloucester?
Sorry, I don't remember what it's called. But
was it the Dick Whittington? That's the one. So we played with All Ears of Val, who are headlining, and Death Is a Girl. And I remember just watching them play, and absolutely phenomenal band. If anyone can get down and check them out, the singer's vocals are something that I haven't heard before, and I was blown away. It's one of those bands that you don't want to leave the room whilst they're playing because you're just so transfixed of how good they are.
Awesome.
So yeah, Death Is a Girl. I mean, Sunfall. Seen Sam before, the Crofters Rights in Bristol. Really, really good band, and it like heaviest band of the day. Like you're gonna absolutely smash it. And I think as well, along with Grove Warden. I mean, those guys are just absolutely killing it. And every time Alex plays, he does something new, something ridiculous.
Those guys are pretty wild as well. Like, I didn't expect the level of energy from them that they brought last week. He was climbing up on the sofa and up and down the crowd. It was real good fun. That
we saw him at it was his Second Chance Sunday for Metal to the Masses, and he was wearing a Rey Mysterio mask. He took his t-shirt off at one point, and for some reason, so did 3 other people. And I remember being back in the crowd trying to take Max's t-shirt off, and he was like, "No, it's not happening." But yeah, just just mad scenes from Alex. I always look forward to seeing Grove Warden. Yeah, Sunday's going to be a good day, and also Cosmic Ninja. I haven't seen Cosmic Ninja for ages. So I remember the last time I saw him, which was an RAC event, if I'm right, Max. Cosmic Ninja.
So they played the same year you played.
Yeah,
I want to say 2018. Yeah,
2018. Yeah, they were a really, really good band. So yeah, really just looking forward to seeing everyone. But those are the standout bands for me.
Absolutely awesome. I really like Cosmic Ninja's logo. That one stood out straight away. I'll be honest. It looks so good.
Yeah.
Only because it looks like Tango Ice Blast, I think, and I really like Tango Ice Blast.
Oh my god, it does.
Yeah. Really like that. What about yourself, Max?
Oh, I hate this question because I wouldn't book them if I didn't enjoy them. So the bands I'm probably most looking forward to seeing. I mean, a lot of these bands I've worked with before. So I've booked Mirrorgrin, they're great. I've booked them a few times. Webb, again, brilliant metal band. Sale, great guys. Turner, fantastic. But the one band and the two bands I'm quite looking forward to the most are probably Night Swimming from Bath. Very soft and gentle. They're going to be like the softest band on the day, but they sound quite mesmerizing. So I thought, when I heard them, I was like, I need to book this band. Awesome. So them, and also the headliner, St. Pierre Snake Invasion. I've seen this band a few times now, and they just kill it every time. I mean, you need to see this band live if you haven't seen them. They're just wacky and crazy, just so much fun. And to book them as well as a headliner is just like almost a privilege. Like, I've always kind of wanted them on our show.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think this is something we were speaking to Alex about last week. The idea that you're happy to book quite a variation of different styles within like the heavier community is absolutely fantastic. Especially with these longer lineups, I think it's really nice to get such a variation of different styles. So you say like Night Swimming, a very kind of more mellow, smoother in the rock side of things, but then you got like heavier bands like the Sunfall guys, and I think that's massive credit to you for doing that, because I think it keeps a lot of people interested.
To be honest, it's the thing that keeps the event going, really. You don't want to go to a show and see the same band 10 times, do you? So,
absolutely.
You start off with a grunge band, then you go to like a more modern rock band like yourself, then something indie, then something punk, metal. Yeah, definitely.
That's really cool. And another thing that does, I think, is it connects all these different sort of communities and cultures together really well. Because there's obviously a lot of subcultures within metal, especially. And they do have a tendency to split off from each other a bit. But when you force them together in a room, they have a great fucking time. So good on you for that. Of course, there's... where are we at? 1 second. So yeah, I think, Callum, have you got any particularly that you're looking forward to?
It depends. On the Sunday, I'm gonna have to beg Aaron to take me up because I want to see Duskwood.
Yeah,
we're at the show. Bands. Yeah, when we're at the Grove Warden show, I met some of the guys who knew them, and they were like, "Yeah, check them out." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll check them out," because they recognised us from doing live streams. He was coming up chatting. He was like, "Yeah, my friend's band's playing. They're in Duskwood," and I was like, "Okay." But yeah, now I want to see him, so I have to beg Aaron.
I think Duskwood was when Max was asking me what bands I wanted to book. I think Duskwood was the first on my list. They played some such cool shows in Yeovil, and given my band a lot of opportunities, and they're the nicest lads as well. But going along with that, they are such a good band. So yeah, if you can make it down to the Sunday, check out Duskwood because they're wicked.
Awesome. And then finally, Sam, yourself, who are you looking forward to?
Honestly, I'm going to be there for both weekends, so I'm really looking forward to see everyone. Definitely keen to see Absolute Zero. That's phenomenal for kids. They say should be playing gigs already. Super keen to see Sale and like the headliners, like Max just saying, St. Pierre Snake Invasion. Really keen to see Grove Warden. I saw them at the was it Melts the Masses night?
Yeah, one of the rounds.
Yeah, I saw the Rey Mysterio night with the shirts off. I was there as well. That was a great time. Really keen to see Brave Ones because I've not seen Charlie play since we last played Rock Against Cancer, which was years ago. So that would be sick. You were playing 2018, weren't you, Charlie?
We were playing 2018, and that was our original lineup.
Okay.
Which I'm so looking forward to playing again because we were so shit back then. So looking forward to playing again. We were the opener, yeah. I'm pretty sure that was like I want to say that was our first proper gig ever. That 2018 RAC show.
I like to give like newer bands the chance to open events like this. Like when I booked Absolute Zero, this was at the time going to be their first show. Now it's going to be, I think, their 5th or 6th. So yeah.
I think I'm well impressed with these Absolute Zero guys being at that age playing gigs. Honestly, I know we've talked about it, but I did have a comment in from the Peppard. He says mosh pit for Absolute Zero, and I second that notion. If it's possible, let's do it. So I'll just catch up on a few comments. Just go on through. So there's a lot of support going for all the bands. Lots of different comments in return here. So look, you've clearly got a very good lineup. So smashing job on that. A lot of support for Tom Peppard for Rock Against Cancer 2023. I don't know how he does it. He's not even here, and he's stealing the room. He does it so well. And he also says, "Yeah, if anyone has a place I can stay, because I'm going to be drunk as fuck." Well, we're going to have tents on us, so if worst comes to worst, we'll just find a field, you know. That's how we do things. Peppard, get yourself a tent and just find a field. You'll be fine. It works. There's a lot of chickens in Somerset. You can feed. It's all good. Trombonoscopy to headline all the shows.
Oh man!
Oh god, that guy's so funny.
Do you know who Trombonoscopy is?
No, please do enlighten us.
So it's so with Southwest Heavy Fest, I try and find like the weirdest bands ever to play. So I booked this band Trombonoscopy. One bloke dresses up as a skeleton, playing the trombone to a backing track of death metal, reading out like news texts from his phone and stuff like that. It is honestly, it's probably the weirdest thing I've ever booked, and I've booked some weird stuff in the past. Yeah, and he's great. Charlie from Trombonoscopy, brilliant dude. So what was the thing? Did he want him to play Rock Against Cancer? Oh, to headline all the shows.
Every show.
And Thomas Peppard was there as well at the show, and we joked that him and Trombonoscopy should go on tour together.
World tour.
That would be fantastic.
I remember watching Trombonoscopy soundcheck with Tony, and I remember he brought his girlfriend with him, and I remember he just soundchecked, and he was like, "How did that sound?" And she was like, "Absolute shit," and he was like, "Brilliant."
It was when he was playing live as well. He just kept apologizing in between every song. He was like, "Sorry for this, guys. Max booked this."
I'm just gonna reply to a few comments by text as well. So there's a bit of a meme going on in chat now. We've kicked off. Alex has also come out and said his daughter may be jumping on vocals during his set on Sunday. 3-year-old performing the heaviest version of Baby Shark you can imagine. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be wild.
That happens.
Yes, there you go. You heard that first. Sam from Sunfall gonna pit.
I will.
Baby Shark.
This is sounding like an increasingly wholesome event. All for it. Absolutely all for it. Right. I think we're pretty well all caught up. There's a lot of people showing support for the Trombonoscopy x Thomas Peppard tour. So
I'll tell you what, if you put that show on at the Cobblestones, that would be busy. That would be a busy ass show.
It would probably do well at the King Arthur as well, actually. People go mad for that.
I tell you what, Tom, sort that out. Sort that out with Graham. Get that at the Cobblestones. I will definitely go. I definitely go and see that. 100%.
Absolutely. I think we're all caught up there, lads. Yeah. So, if you guys are happy to, we've been going an hour and a half. So, I think we should probably plug your socials and maybe call it a night if you're happy with that.
Yeah, you happy for me to run down the lineup and just say?
Oh, please do. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's at the Victoria Club in Street, Somerset. Tickets online are £9 for a day ticket online. On the door will be a little bit more. You can get a weekend ticket for £15. You can't really get any cheaper than that, can you? For 2 days worth of music, good music as well. So
think how many bands you get to see? Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
So Saturday the 3rd of September, we start at about 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm going to post the set times up tomorrow in the event page. So you've got Absolute Zero, Violet, Mirror Grin, yourself, Regional 1, Night Swimming, Webb, Sale, Elkapath, Turner, St. Pierre Snake Invasion. That's just on the Saturday. And then the Sunday, Bliss, Death as a Girl, Grove Warden, Brave Ones, Try Me. I'm getting tired. Duskwood, Sunfall, Cosmic Ninja, and All Is a Vow. But the Sunday starts at 3 p.m, by the way.
There's also a really, really good raffle.
Yes.
So anyone that's come in, get your raffle tickets. We got some really cool prizes this year. We got quite a lot of stuff from our friend Neil at Death Sentence. So big shout out to him if he's watching the live feed. He's donated some really, really cool stuff. So yeah, get your raffle tickets.
Yeah, we've also got prizes that will be donated by the venue, so it'll be like alcohol related, maybe some chocolate stuff like that. We've got some vouchers, and also our good friend Joe from Mirrorgrin. He runs a few little companies, and he's going to be donating his services as well. So yeah, you might get like a karate lesson or something to do with Photoshop. You know, he's donating loads of cool stuff. So there's going to be loads of raffle prizes. And that'll be all across the weekend.
Yeah, so make sure you get your raffle tickets by the sounds of it. I've had a few questions in, actually. I know you'll be posting the times up tomorrow. However, I've had a few questions asking what time the show actually starts on Saturday. A lot of people are hungry to see Absolute Zero.
Awesome. So Absolute Zero start at 1:45.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So get down nice and early. Absolute Zero are on at 1:45. Okay, and another question in from Marie saying, can she make a donation without going? Is there a place to do so?
There isn't currently, but we can set something up for sure.
Okay, fantastic. I will just tag you in there so you can know to get in touch.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, yes.
There we go. All right, I've tagged the page to her, okay? Fantastic. There's a lot of people in support of the karate, seems to be a theme. That's good.
I don't know if Joe's watching or not, but he does loads of stuff like that, so he's great.
Fantastic. Pepard's asked if there's anything alcohol related. Count him in. And also saying, get there before 1:45 and have a drink, meet the crew. Everyone is lovely. We'll be aiming to be there long before then. So as soon as you guys are open to us turning up, we'll be there. We'll chat and help out, set up. Looking forward to meeting you all. And like Tom says, we'll have a drink and hopefully get to know each other a bit. We've got Michael Welsh saying, great stream, guys. Awesome insight into the event. And I'd like to second that. Thank you very much, all of you guys, for coming on this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure. Before we go any further, however, Sunfall, please tell us where is best to find Sunfall and what you're pushing right now.
I'd honestly say just the normal Facebook and Instagram. Instagram more so. That seems to get more attention. I think like the algorithm on Facebook is you'll post something and barely anyone sees it. That's what we kind of have. But then on Instagram a lot more. So definitely there. Sunfall UK. We're on both of those. Those are definitely best platforms for us.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. And if you haven't yet, check out Rock Against Cancer. And Rock Against Cancer 2022 is the event you want to check out on Facebook. Thank you very much for tuning in to have a watch this evening. We really appreciate all of your support. And we hope we'll see you all again soon, if not this weekend. So just from us one more time, we've got Rock Against Cancer this Saturday in Street. Be there or be square. And we've also got Friday evening at the Cobblestones in Bridgewater. Hopefully you'll make it to one or both of these shows. Can't wait to see you all. So yeah, thank you very much again, guys. And we'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great.